Hello, I'm Joe Walensky, and I'm the program manager for Seattle's annual user experience conference called ConveyUX, which is coming up February 27, 28, and March 1. And I get to speak with all of our great presenters for the conference. Today, I am talking with Dalia El-Shimy. Hello, Dalia. How are you doing today?
Hi, Joe. How's it going? I'm doing well, thanks.
Yeah, it's nice to see you. And where are you talking to us from today?
So I'm in Toronto today. Normally I work out of Montreal, but I'm here giving actually a few workshops on user research. So that brings me to town.
Well, it's great to have you involved in the conference as one of our international contributors. And I thought a good place to start would be for you to talk a little bit about your background and the type of work that you do.
Sure thing, yeah. So I work as a user research lead at Shopify, which is an e-commerce platform. I've been at the company here about 3 years, and I lead a research team in Montreal that basically looks at what we call the online store, which is how merchants who use Shopify build essentially websites and design them in order to be able to sell their products online. Before joining Shopify, I was doing a PhD at McGill University in Montreal in human-computer interaction. My background is actually in applied math and engineering. As an engineer, I decided that I wanted to get into designing systems for musicians. And not being a musician myself, I quickly realized that I needed to learn some techniques that would allow me to build products for people who are different from myself. And that's when I got my introduction into user-centered design and qualitative methods, quantitative methods, measuring, researching, and did not even realize that user research could be a career until after I finished school and started out at Shopify.
Well, it's a really interesting resume, so I'm sure you're involved in a lot of different activities. Is anything particularly exciting or new going on in your daily work life?
Yeah, so as part of the research that I do into the online store and basically how the merchants use Shopify design online stores, I've recently been kind of taking a step back and trying to answer the question of how do non-designers approach design. So we know that it's a pretty difficult thing for people who don't come from a design background to design a store from scratch, even when we offer them templates. And we're at our crossroads now where we are examining how we can revamp the entire experience. And I thought that that would be a good opportunity for us to kind of go back to first principles and do some pretty conceptual research around how people think about design in the first place. For example, do they think about layout first? Do they think about content first? Or do they not even see a delineation between those two processes? So I've been doing a field study where I'm going out and visiting the merchants who use our platform, and I show up with essentially the content of their online stores today, all cut up into individual pieces, pictures, the images, the text, the buttons, and all that. And I give them a blank canvas, and I ask them to design their store in the most ideal state, completely removed from the constraints of the tools that they have to use today. And so that's been a really interesting sort of co-design type study, kind of a hands-on activity that's allowed us to kind of really understand how people think about design, whether it's content first, layout first. And the answer so far is that they're so intertwined that people do not see a delineation between the two. So now it's our job to kind of take those findings and figure out what that means in terms of designing an experience that supports people's mental models around this process.
Yeah, well, thanks for providing that insight into some of the current research that you're involved with. And your talk is going to be part of our research interest area track, which is one of several different tracks that we have at the conference. Your topic title is Turning Anecdotes into Insights, Mixed Methods Research in Support of Design. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what people can expect to learn from that session?
Sure. So I think one of the biggest things that people can expect to learn from this is not only a sort of introduction into what mixed methods is and what makes it powerful, but also an understanding of how to use different qualitative and quantitative methods together at various stages of a project in order to answer different types of questions. And I'll be also going through a few case studies of instances where I've used mixed methods, which can be really powerful, a way of bringing together user researchers, data analysts, engineers, all to look at a problem from all different facets.
Well, we're really pleased to have you part of our program, and we'll look forward to having you here in the Seattle area in just a couple of months. So thanks a lot, Dalia.
My pleasure. I look forward to being there as well.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.